But you guys liked the original SCP video I posted, and it had some good feedback. So now we got another SCP video for you guys, and we're gonna react to it right now. SCP-1155 Predatory Street Art. A little excited for this one, so we're gonna watch it. It looks pretty interesting, so we're gonna get straight to it. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys leave a like on this video, subscribe, and please follow me on all my social media, especially Twitch, ABMDejan_, because that's where you get all the content from. You need to be on Twitch. But anyway, let's get straight to it. SCP-1155. See what this is all about. All right.
Good day everybody and welcome to SCP Illustrated, entry log 39. Today we'll be looking at SCP-1155, also known as Predatory Street Art.
Alright.
This is a Keter level SCP and there is some scenes of violence and dismemberment in this video.
Alright. The fuck is... What the hell is that, bro? Shit like a Dark Souls...
Description.
Dark Souls boss.
SCP-1155 manifests as a work of street arts depicting the form of a humanoid creature with sinewy forelimbs, claw-like hands, and the head and feathers of an...
Oh, nah, this gotta be an Elden Ring boss, bro. Damn, why it look like that?
The depicted pose is variable, but tends towards a predatory stance with eyes that appear to track the viewer. Anyone viewing this image directly will experience a compulsion to investigate it further. Victims describe a nervous fascination and a desire to move closer. This can be resisted with effort, especially if the subject is aware of SCP-1155's anomalous properties.
Oh, no.
If a subject approaches to within 2 meters and is not in the line of sight of another person, they will be subjected to a violent attack, suffering severe lacerations, dismemberment of extremities, whole or partial removal of soft body parts, and penetrating head trauma consistent with those that would be inflicted by a large beak and/or talons. The attack generally takes about 6 seconds to conclude, upon which both SCP-1155 and the victim will vanish, and SCP-1155 will reappear elsewhere in the usual manner of relocation events within 7 days. Attacks can be halted before this event by re-establishing line of sight to the victim, but this is not recommended. See Record of Incident 1155-A. Attempts to track where the victims are taken by equipping test subjects with GPS locators have failed. Based on tested interruptions performed as predefined intervals, the attack follows a defined pattern. The victims will first be restrained, and the eyes and tongue will be removed, rapidly followed by the amputation of both hands and feet. The victim will then be disemboweled.
The fuck the eyes and the tongue do to you?
And the intestines
Damn,
and
you
stomach
going straight
removed.
for the eyes and the tongue.
Death usually follows due to shock or rapid exsanguination, but only if the attack is interrupted by visual contact. The fate of victims who disappear along with SCP-1155 at the conclusion of the attack is unknown. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1155 is currently contained in a disused parking lot adjacent to an abandoned shopping centre in the city metropolitan area. The building is to be marked condemned and access to both it and the car park should be restricted by Foundation personnel posing as security guards from the front company. Civilians are to be deterred from entering the site and supplied with standard cover story 47, structural instability / sinkhole, if they inquire as to why. SCP-1155 must be kept under constant observation by motion tracking security cameras. If SCP-1155 is observed to vanish, Mobile Task Force Pi-1 City Slickers should be notified immediately.
Nah, that SCP is an average New York citizen, bro.
Now should not routinely attempt to view SCP-1155 directly. Observation must be conducted remotely.
That's crazy.
The following text is stricken from the record, but I shall read it for clarity. Whatever flat surface that SCP-1155 is currently inhabiting should be obscured from view by any standard Class 2 enclosed mobile containment unit, or, in situations where this cannot be effected in a timely fashion, by obstructing it with a vehicle, storage container, or displaced rubble, provided that this can be done without damaging a 3-meter area around SCP-1155's image.
Oh no.
I repeat, that part has been stricken from the record and replaced with the following. Following Incident 1155-B, it has been observed that completely enclosing SCP-1155 has a tendency to hasten a relocation event. Revised procedures now recommend the evacuation of the immediate area surrounding SCP-1155 to the minimum distance necessary to prevent contact with the general public, unless SCP-1155 manifests in a high visibility location or anywhere where preventing public egress is impossible.
What the fuck?
At the present time, SCP-1155 cannot be permanently contained by any known means. Approximately every 2 to 4 months, SCP-1155 has been observed to spontaneously relocate itself to other urban environments, moving as little as 15 meters from its current position up to a maximum observed distance of 800 kilometers.
Nah, what the fuck?
These relocation events can be triggered by damage to the surface that SCP-1155 adheres to, interruption of an attack, any attempt to reduce the size of SCP-1155's containment space to prevent visual contact. Therefore, current containment efforts are centered around swiftly ascertaining SCP-1155's new location and isolating it from public view. When such a relocation event occurs, Mobile Task Force Pi-1 should be immediately deployed alongside local assets to locate the new site as quickly as possible, re-implement containment procedures, and detain any witnesses.
Okay.
Survivors of attacks should be detained, uninjured witnesses may be administered Class A amnestics and then released. Addendum. Incident 1155-A. 2 surviving Class D personnel used for attack interruption tests were given medical treatment and kept alive in the aftermath of the event. Both were incoherent and could not adequately communicate what had happened to them, though D-89786, whose eyes were removed during the attack, claimed to still be able to see and provided a description of a larder containing bodies of previous victims of SCP-1155 along with the entity itself.
The fuck?
D-89786
ambush
escaped
killer?
from an
Yeah, it's like
on-site
an ambush
quarters during
killer,
a
yeah.
containment breach by SCP that was pursued by local law enforcement and nearby, who were told he was a severely disturbed patient from a local mental hospital. Officers...
That's kind of crazy how like they really can't like detain it. Like it moves like a small distance, but it's really hard for them to contain it. Nah, that's crazy.
Reports they saw the suspect walking into
You
an
know,
alleyway.
a humanoid
but before they could
owl.
apprehend, a scream was
crazy.
heard, and then when they rounded the corner, it was found that D-89786 had disappeared. The alleyway was a dead end with no visible exits. D-89789, both eyes, tongue, hands and feet removed before attack halted, was successfully transferred to site. A period of rapid relocations was noted in SCP-1155, where it was observed in several public places with a posture that suggested hunting or tracking behaviour.
What the fuck?
SCP-1155 appeared for several hours high up on the site of the building, in full view of many witnesses who fortunately could not access it. In view of the difficulties of containment, Site Command made the decision to bring D-89789 back into the city. SCP-1155 was observed to appear several times on the walls, advertisement boards, and bridges alongside the transport vehicle's path. D-89789 was observed to become increasingly agitated and hysterical during this process. D-89789 was transferred to a remote location on the edge of the city limits, placed in front of SCP-1155, whereupon visual contact was broken. SCP-1155 and D-89789 disappeared, and SCP-1155 resumed previous pattern of manageable relocation behaviour. Incident 1155-B. Elements of Mobile Task Force Pi-1 located SCP-1155 in an abandoned subway station after most recent relocation event.
Like that?
Team leader made the decision to obscure SCP-1155 with a vending machine until more containment resources arrived, on the basis that there were not enough task force members on site to guarantee a secure perimeter, and local transients were known to use the area for shelter. SCP-1155 immediately displaced to a nearby children's playground, causing casualties before it could again be located. Due to highly public nature of this location, decision was made at command level to again provoke a displacement event, resulting in the current containment location.
Nah,
containment at the current location was expensive,
both children
requiring
playground.
that an
That's
entire
crazy.
shopping centre be acquired by the Foundation and then subsequently closed, but the revised containment procedures have resulted in the longest time since a relocation event to date.
What the fuck?
The last few containment locations may point to a disturbing trend. Previously, SCP-1155 seemed to have a pattern of appearing in low-traffic urban areas, often abandoned buildings or quiet underpasses. At risk of anthropomorphism, it appears to have become emboldened and will now readily appear in public spaces, which makes containment difficult. Over the objections of the containment team, leave the damn thing uncovered. Better we lose a few urban explorers or nosy kids every couple of years, rather than risk having it abduct more people before we can locate it each.
Nah, that's a crazy statement.
And that concludes SCP-1155. I hope you've
bro.
enjoyed this video. Be sure to like if you do, and please subscribe to stay informed of new uploads. Next will be SCP-1...
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. This one is kind of interesting. This one is more of like a stealthy kind of like SCP, like and not like too noticeable. But I ain't gonna lie, that is kind of crazy. This is kind of an interesting SCP. I kind of like this one. I give this one a solid 8.5 out of 10. Compared to the other one, I still like the other one a little bit better. The one we reacted to before. I feel like that one's a little bit more. Well, I think it's because the class of it is different. Because this one isn't as... Well, I mean, it's still dangerous, but like the other one was, was way... that's just like a world end for real. That's just like the end of the world for real. But yeah, it was more to it than, for that one than this one. But this one's still good. I give it an 8.5.